Hello students, in our previous lecture we are studied a deduction under chapter 6a applicable to individual under section ATC, ATD, ATDD, ATDDB, ATE and ATU. Okay, so here ATC or this deduction is given to SSC from gross total income if the SSC has contributed their money or income in section ATC. If the SSC has contributed or take a medical insurance or medical health insurance, then he get a deduction under ATD. ATD is relating to the mediclaim for disabled person. Okay, ATDD is relating to the maintenance including medical treatment of disabled or dependent person. We already discussed the sections in our previous lecture. Okay, ATDDB is relating to the medical treatment for normal person and eligible SSC. Here meaning of dependent we already discussed. Then section E is relating to the interest on higher education loan taken for higher education. Okay, then ATU deduction in case of person with a disability or a totally blind person. Okay, in our today's lecture we are going to discuss the tax free income or exempted income under section 10. Okay, so here the exempted income is given here. Section 10 subsection 1, agricultural income earned during the previous year, since it is a state subject as per Constitution of India. So agricultural income is a tax free income. Okay, tax free income, if a income earned in previous year from agriculture, then this or total income earned from agriculture are exempted under section 10 subsection 1. Then section 10 subsection 2, share from the income of HUF. Okay, so share from income of Hindu undivided family is tax free. Any income received as a co-partner of HUF from the said HUF is not taxable. So share received from HUF is not taxable. The income earned or the share received from the Hindu undivided family are totally tax free under section 1 subsection 2. Okay, then section 10 subsection 2a, share profit received by a partner from a firm is not taxable in his assessment, since the income of the firm is taxed at 30%, hence the same income cannot taxed twice. Okay, so share of profit received by a partner from a partnership firm is not taxable because in his assessment the income of the firm is already taxed at 13%. Okay, 30%. Okay, so profit of the partnership firm is already taxed 30%. So the income or the share of profit of the partner in the partnership firm are not taxed twice. Okay, so here double tax is not taken on similar income or same income. Okay, so if tax is already paid on the profit of the partnership firm, then again the income of the partner or a share of the profit of the partner cannot be taxed twice. Okay, under section 10 subsection 2a. Then fourth one is section 10 subsection 5, leave travel allowance received by an employee from the employer as per the condition mentioned in that section is exempted. So here we already discussed the leave travel allowance exempted under section 10 subsection 5, okay, in salary. Okay, while we studying the salary, we already discussed the section 10 subsection 5, that is various exemptions related to salaries under section 10. Okay, so leave travel concession under section 10 subsection 5 is exempted, and condition is given, that is the amount exempt under section 10 subsection 5 is the value of any travel concession or assistance received or due on the SSE from his employer. Okay, for himself and his family, for himself and his family in connection with his proceeding on leave to any place in India. The exempted amount can, or the amount exempt can in no case exceeds the expenditure actually incurred. It means actual expenditure incurred on the leave or on the travel of the SSC or on the travel of the employee is, or the journey of, or to journey of a 4-year block. Okay, so whichever is lower is allowed for exemption. Got it? So here very easy condition is given in leave travel allowance, that is leave travel allowance is exempted up to or exempted as actual expenditure incurred on travel or two block of, or to journey out of a block of 4 years. Okay, so here the exemption is given for leave travel concession. Then second deduction or second exemption, not a deduction, second exemption under section 10 subsection C, perquisite and additional salary received by a citizen of India working abroad is not taxed. It means any facility or benefit is received in addition to the salary received by a citizen of India, and he is working in outside India or he is working abroad in other country is not taxable. So perquisite is received by a Indian citizen, but the SSC or the person is working in outside India in foreign countries, then the perquisite, the benefit or the facility is not taxable, it is exempted from tax. Got it? Then section 10 subsection D, that is any money received on maturity of LIC as a policy holder is not taxable as long as the LIC is paid by the policy holder. Here under section 10 subsection D, amount of LIC policy received on the maturity date are fully tax free. Okay, amount of LIC policy are fully taxable when the SSC has received the money of LIC at the time of maturity. Okay, so amount of LIC received at the time of maturity is fully tax free, is fully exempted from tax. Then section 10 subsection A, commuted value received by an employee is exempted subject to condition stated therein. So we already studied that the commuted value of the pension of the person. Okay, so commuted value of the pension is also tax free. Okay, so for government employee and non-government employee, if the commuted value received by a government employee, then full value received by the government employee is tax free or exempted from tax. If non-government employee has received a commuted value of pension, then exempted from tax to the extent of the amount received or the gratuity received. Okay, so we already discussed the commuted value of pension. Okay, For government employee, fully tax free, fully exempted from tax. For non-government employee, we have to compute a commuted value of pension as per the formula given. Okay, it means where the employees receive any gratuity, and the gratuity or the commuted value of 1/3 of the pension, then we use a formula, that is 1 divided by 3 multiplied by commuted value of pension received divided by computation or commutation in percentage multiplied by 100. We get a 1/3 value of commuted pension. So these are the conditions of exemption of commuted value of non-government employee. For government employee, it is fully exempted, fully taxable. Then next one is section under section 10 subsection 11, statutory public provident fund, SPPF, by an employee from the employer at the time of retirement, termination of services, etc., is exempted in the assessment of government employees. So here the provident fund received by employee from the employee at the time of retirement, termination of services, it is exempted in the assessment of the government employee. So it is allow for, or it is only exempted for the government employees if the government employee has received the statutory provident fund at the time of retirement and termination of his services. Okay, non-government employee, it is taxable. Then next, section 10 subsection 12, other than government employee. Okay, so other than government employee is given here. Okay, we study the section 10 subsection 11 relating to the statutory public provident fund in respect of government employee fully exempted. Okay, at the time of retirement or at the time of termination of his services, the employee receives the statutory public provident fund from the employer, then all amount are exempted. Here section 10 subsection 12 is relating to the non-government employee, other than government employee, the amount of provident fund is also exempted from taxation. So non-government employee has also get a exemption from exemption on provident fund or amount of provident fund. Then 10 point, that is section 10 subsection 13, an approved superannuation fund received by an employee is exempted at the time of retirement or termination, etc. So here under section 10 subsection 13, an approved superannuation fund received by an employee is exempted at the time of retirement or termination of his services. The next one is section 10 subsection 13a, that is house rent allowance received by an employee during the previous year is exempted to the extent of allowance mentioned in rule 2a of Income Tax Act rules 1962. So house rent allowances are exempted. We already studied that the house rent allowance is exempted. Okay, so minimum or list of the following three. So here we actually studied the exempted house rent allowances, that is actually HRA received. Okay, list of the following three, actually HRA received. Then second point is rent paid minus 10% of salary, and third point is 40 or 50% of salary. 40% of salary in case of SSC is working in other than metro cities, okay, like Pune, Aurangabad, Kolhapur, etc. And 50% of salary in case of employee worked in metro cities such as Mumbai, Delhi, Kolkata and Chennai. Okay, here salary means or salary for the purpose of computation of exempted HRA is equal to, salary is equal to basic pay or basic salary plus DA means dearness allowance considered for retirement benefit, plus all taxable allowances. Okay, all taxable allowances plus commission. Okay, so these are uh, included in the salary for computation of exempted HRA. And then we compare the three values, that is we computed list of the following three, that is actually HRA, rent paid, and 40 or 50% of salary. We compare these three value, and which value is lower is considered as a exempted HRA. Got it? It's considered as a exempted HRA, and this condition is applicable, or these those HRA are exempted from tax, or those HRA are tax free. Okay, under section 10 subsection 13a. So we already discussed how to compute exempted HRA in our unit number 4 under the head of income from salary. Okay, then next one is section 10 subsection 14. Any allowance received by an employee for the performance of duties of the employer is exempt subject to the condition mentioned therein. So any allowance received by an employee for the performance of or performing the duties of the employer are exempted from tax or tax free income of the SSC under section 10 subsection 14. The next one is 13 section 10 subsection 18. A pension received by an individual who has been in the service of the central or state government and has been awarded Padma Veer Padma Veer Padma Veer Chakra or Mahavir Chakra or Veer Chakra is exempted. So those SSC who is worked in central government or state government and has been awarded a Padma Veer Chakra and Mahavir Chakra or Veer Chakra, the all income or the all pension are exempted from the tax, or all pension received by the SSC are exempted from tax. It means tax free pension. Okay, for the state or central government employee, if the employee has awarded by Padma Veer Chakra or Mahavir Chakra or Veer Chakra award. Then section 10 subsection 19, family pension received by okay, widow or the children are nominated therein or therein of the member of armed forces of the union where the death of such member has occurred in the course of operational duties subject to such conditions as may be prescribed. Okay, so the family pension received by widow or the children of children of children are nominated here is therein of the members of the armed forces. If the any soldier has so here family pension received by any child or widow of a soldier, okay, are fully exempted, and certain conditions is given in the prescribed in the section 10 subsection 19. Okay, so pension received or family pension received by widow or children or the nominated armed forces of the union, such pension is exempted from tax, or such amount received by the nominee are exempted from tax. Then 15 section 10 subsection 20, the income arising to a local authority within its jurisdiction is exempted. So here income arising to a local authority within the constituency is exempted from tax. Okay, Then dividends received by a shareholder from the Indian company is exempted. So dividend received by the shareholder from Indian company, all dividend are exempted under section 10 subsection 34. Then next one is section 10 subsection 35. Dividends, interest, etc. received from the mutual fund is exempted. It means uh, the member has received a dividend or interest from mutual fund, then all dividend or interest are exempted from tax or tax free income of the assessee. So here we studied the 17 exempted income under section 10 subsection 5 7 2. Okay, so here remember these exemptions. Okay, so here these income are exempted or tax free income. Okay, in our next lecture we are going to discuss the last content of unit number third, that is goods and services tax. In goods and services tax we are going to discuss the meaning and history. It means history of GST, history of GST. Okay, history of GST, meaning of GST. Okay, then types of GST. Okay, types of GST includes SGST, CGST, IGST and UTGST. Okay, so goods and services tax we will discuss in our next lecture. Okay, thank you very much.